What up friends, welcome to this video of mine. Today's video is going to be pretty much on a standing desk that I've been trying. I've had it for a couple of months now, so I thought I'd just make a video of my experience with it and how I find it and how I use it for different positions and different seated positions as well as standing positions. It's called the desk stand, and if you go to their website you can see all the things that they make and sell, and they have a wide variety of stuff. They also have the actual standing desks, the electronic ones where it's a proper desk, and just with the switch of a button the desk kind of rises and can lower. So those are probably the best and the most ideal desk to have, but as you can imagine it does come with a bit of a price tag. So I opted for one of the wooden standing desks that they make. The shelves are quite interchangeable, so depending on your height and however you want to set it up, you can kind of choose the various levels according to however you are using it. So I've tried using it in quite a few different setups. I've tried it just on my desk as a laptop stand as well as a monitor stand, which I can then convert into a standing desk when I want to switch it up and stand as opposed to being seated. And I've also recently tried it on the ground, so kind of like a floor setup where I have a futon which I've folded up into a couch, and then I just sit on the futon and use the standing desk as my desk. But you'll see that set up in the video. So it gives me quite a nice way that I can sit. I can move around from cross-legged to different seated positions just to keep me from becoming too restless, which I find I often become after a couple of hours seated in a desk chair. I do like the kind of floor setup even over the standing desk setup, because I feel like sitting on the floor I have a lot more positions to switch between and change into. So I don't feel the need that I need to switch to standing like I would when seated at a desk in a desk chair, I guess it comes down to personal preference. Yeah, let's take a look at some of the different setups that I've used it for. So one of the other setups that I did with the standing desk was to place it on top of my existing normal desk and just have my laptop on the top, as you can see, and have my external screen next to it connected via the arm. It wasn't the most comfortable experiences having the external monitor slightly off to the left, but I did also, as you've seen in the other clip, have the monitor on the same level as the laptop. The only problem with this setup is that I would have to use one of the bigger panels on the standing desk as the stand behind it, because if I used it on the top here with the laptop, it would obviously take up too much space and I wouldn't be able to see the other monitor. But it was still good, and I think it was still a good setup. It definitely helped going between sitting at the desk and transforming it into a standing desk quite quickly without having to change the external monitor. I could just swivel it around till it was at the right angle and the right height. It's also good if I'm just having meetings or whatever, because then I don't really need the second screen, so I can just keep the laptop at the top and go about the meetings while I'm standing, which is quite helpful. And it's a good change from having to sit all day, especially during meetings. So yeah, I did think of getting a second smaller panel like this, so that I could use one for the laptop and then one as the stand behind. but I did decide to rather maybe hold off on that and rather use the desk on the floor with the futon to kind of like a floor sort of setup, floor desk setup. I did find though, when having the laptop and the external monitor on the same sort of level, I did find it was a bit too close having the larger screen. So this distance working was good with the laptop, but with the bigger screen I felt it was a bit too close. So hence why I did prefer this sort of setup, having the monitor on the side and just swiveling it up. It seemed to work better for me. Decided to try completely onto the standing desk, so I'm pretty much off my actual desk. I guess it's kind of mimicking sitting on the floor. So if you've seen some of these setups on YouTube where they have their whole desk set up, like using a coffee table for example, and they're sitting on the floor, it's kind of similar to that. I have a futon which I'm sitting on at the moment, and it's kind of folded up like a small couch. And it gives me the same feel as I'd be sitting on the floor. So at least I can sit cross-legged, I can sit, legs wide open to lean forward, and I can adjust my position throughout the day. I find it much better and more comfortable like that than sitting on a chair, because I seem to get quite restless sitting on a chair, especially if I can't sit nicely cross-legged on the chair. I find myself getting very restless. So this way, the futon is quite wide, I can sit cross-legged nicely. I must say the initial stage of trying it, I did feel a bit in my back, but I think you just have to push through that initial part or that initial phase. Your back does get stronger, you do get used to it, and then it becomes the norm. So, but also with the futon, it has a back, so anytime it may be a bit straining on the back, you can just lean back and rest like that. Also, what's good with the standing desk is you can take out the bottom big part of it where your keyboard and stuff is on, and I just place it on my lap and work from there, and it's perfectly fine, and your back gets a bit of a break, which is nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it like this for a bit and see how it goes.